Alrighty. Hello everyone. So this is going to be a quick video on the new carrier, the Shinano, which will be available in 13.11 Steelable event. This is going to be going over the Shinano's AP skip bombers, and a lot of people have been wondering how exactly does it work. So I'll just give a rundown on it. Get some few strikes in on various different types of targets here, cruisers and battleships. And so hopefully this will help you guys out. So the AP skip bombers, these are a new type of mechanic in this game. This is quite different from the usual HE skip bombers. Usually with the HE skip bombers, you would aim the reticle a little bit past the broadside of the ship that you're striking, so that when the bombs are dropping down on a downwards arc, they hit the side upper plating of your target. So that way it penetrates through their side armor and not into their citadel protection armor, which is more heavily armored. You generally want to get that AG bomb to bounce down and arc into the side upper plating. So for the AP skip bombers, as we can see here, it has improved ricochet angles, okay? And also there's a penetration value there for the 3 penetration values: 658, 658, and then 296. These are for each specific line. This is a mod made by Taro. It's on the Aslan's mod pack installer. And this is basically a visual indicator letting you know how much penetration your bombs exactly have. So 658, 658, 296, and the bombs are pretty much, it's the moment that you release your ordnance. So this area right here to the first line, all the way to this indicator area right here, right before the bombs hit and touch the second line, which is the bounce. This entire area right here is going to have the 658 penetration. So what that means is if you're going to be striking a unit with a much higher armor value, let's say specifically battleships, then you generally want to use this portion of your skip bomb. You don't want to let the bomb touch the second line, which is once it touches the second line, that means it touches the water the second time. First line is the first time, second line is the next time it touches the water. And then this entire thing right here, the second line to the final detonation zone, this is all going to have the 296. So it's not that your first balance or your second balance will be changing it directly, like immediately. It's the moment that you release your ordnance all the way right before your bombs touch the second line. That's when you have the 658 penetration. And once it touches that second line, that's when it changes to 296 immediately. So we're going to showcase here, do a strike on the Yamato, exactly how to do this drop. And you're going to release it just so it right before it touches the second line. And so that way you can have the glorious 658 millimeters of penetration. It's basically a Yamato shell hitting a target at 10 kilometers. That is quite literally what this penetration value is. And let's say you're trying to drop it so that it touches the second line. You'll be able to see exactly what happens. These 2 bombs here, because I dropped at a little bit of an angle, 2 bombs were non-pens. Meanwhile, the other 2 bombs, they were right before they touched the second line, so therefore they are penetration. Hopefully this is all making sense. You want to make sure the bombs hit the target, hit the battleship before it touches this second line. So let's try it on the cruiser now. Cruisers, you want to drop on the third line. It's quite easy to remember. The hardest thing is dropping it on battleships, but cruisers, it's way easier. Here we go, and right there. Make sure the bombs are arcing into the ship, and you get a free citadel hit, basically. This is the new mechanic of how it's supposed to be used, and you can pretty much citadel, I would say about 80%, 70-80% of the ships in the game that have a citadel. Some of the ships that have, I would say more like German ships like GK or Preußen, these ships are much more difficult because they're just the way how their turtleback is in the game. But things like Mecklenburg, you can definitely Citadel Mecklenburg. As for carriers, I should have put a carrier in here. Carriers, you want to drop it on the third line. The only carriers that are basically impossible to Citadel are the German carriers, but every other carrier in the game, you can Citadel with the last line. The 296mm of pen is more than enough. Now, we can just go ahead and strike the Montana. The good thing about these skip bombers is you have a much longer aiming time, or attack zone time, 12 seconds. So you have more than enough time to like readjust your aim. Release it right there. And you have 3 non-pens. I think my bombs actually touched the water there right before. Because not only do the bombs have a dispersion on side to side, it has a dispersion of front and back. So let's try doing it at full speed this time. See if this changes the ways the bomb arc into the side. Go full speed. And there we go. Yes. One bomb actually touched the water, but in this case we had 3 pens and we did get 3 citadels. It's very easy to use once you get the hang of it, once you get the timing and get used to the visual indicators. And I highly recommend, right before you go into battle, you go into the training room and actually test it out yourself. So that way, you are able to get consistent drops on targets, and you won't be suffering like a lot of other people who tried you use these bombs for the first time. But yeah, there we go. Short, I would say 5-6 minute video on how the AP skip bombers work. I hope this helps you guys out. Let me know what you guys think about the previous videos. I haven't read the comments yet, but I will in a bit. And yeah, thanks all for watching.